Good evening, Detroit. Good evening, Detroit. This is Aaliyah Moore. God is good and I am okay. But y'all see where it at. And why I'm here is because some of our board members, the state of Detroit Public Schools Community District, you see that? It say Sinai Grace and it say emergency. Receive it, main entrance, directions, right? But this is a hospital for what? Sick people. For people that need help. Detroit, we need help. It's a sickness going on in Detroit Public Schools Community District. It's an ignorance and a lack in Detroit Public Schools Community District. I ain't trying to be funny. I'm laughing. And I'm laughing because I like to keep my humor regardless, Detroit. But right now, this ain't no laughing matter. You have a president of Detroit Public Schools Community District, Dr. Bishop Corletta Vaughn, was on a listening session yesterday, which is a listening session is an opportunity for parents, stakeholders, supposedly to talk. Sorry about the background, y'all, but I'm at Sinai Grace, baby. But I'm okay. But all I'm saying is, Detroit Public Schools, we got an emergency situation, and it's a sickness going on throughout this district. Dr. Bishop Corletta Vaughn, in the parent listening session yesterday, Detroit, actually told whoever was on that line, Detroit, whoever was on that call, that the schools, we ain't seen no new schools in the city of Detroit in almost 30 years. I ask you, Detroit, where this lady been? What about schools like Munger, East English Village, Gompers, McKenzie, even through emergency management? East English Village was built with a pool. We got a superintendent and an elected school board that are currently building schools with no pools. Not true enough, through the grapevine, and I don't like to be false, but I heard, it was optional for pools via the principals or maybe administrators. That shouldn't be no option, Detroit. If you want to teach babies how to swim, to keep them from coming here, from possibly drowning. RIP to a baby we lost. She was a younger baby though, first grade, but still. The point is, we lost her to drowning at a school of mine. But the point is, Detroit, this is an emergency situation. You got a president that don't even know. The president of the school board, Dr. Bishop Corletta Vaughn. She's telling parents, stakeholders, whoever was on that line, Detroit, that we ain't seen no new schools. So the propaganda and the rationale in America, black folks love new stuff, right? America love new stuff, but black folks really love new buildings and new make you want to go in there, right? We know about new buildings, Detroit. It's not uncommon for us. So what is she talking about? But my point is, she is the president of this school board. Today's meeting, it was full. The bulk of it, shout out to board member Monique Bryant. Because guess what? If you don't ask what? You don't know. And she's asking questions that should have been asked by Angelique Mayberry Peterson, that chairs the academic meeting for today. Questions that should have been asked by Iris Taylor, Dr. Bishop, Latrice McClendon, Sonia Mays, that is gone, Misha Stallworth-West. Let's not never forget names, Detroit, because names hold people accountable, because that's your identity, baby. This is serious business, Detroit. The seniors, the middle age, the 30s, the 40s, the 20-year-olds, Y'all got to get more involved. Thank you, Detroit, for the people that have. Thank you potentially for the people that have it in them to step up. But this board and this superintendent, they don't even require a lot of pressure, Detroit. That's what I'm saying to y'all. I love y'all for the support that you have shown me. I love you all for the support you have shown our children throughout whatever measures, whether you have a tutoring program, a dance studio, whatever that you are helping our youth with. I appreciate it, and so do they. But to keep them kids up out of here from any hurt, harm, and danger over this summer and just with everyday life. You know, we live to die, Detroit, but let these babies have the same opportunities, the same intellectual opportunities that some of you all sit in these places that you can affect change by simply asking a question. Instead of being at engagement with these people and shaking hands in these photo moments. This is an emergency situation, and we're not even talking about what's going on throughout the federal level. We talking about our children. We still got local control. We still got a superintendent that is just, in my opinion, he does not want to build this district up over 50,000 students. Because in today's discussion, I'm thinking we talking about straight up transportation. We about to, grow our transportation. This was a grant for EPA buses to take out, if I'm not mistaken, 10 to 15 of our fuel buses and put these in. We got the grant. But now, Dr. Nikolai Vidi, because of all the federal changes, he doesn't want to spend the grant because that will require the district to eat costs. So far, he's talking about $2.2 million plus. So what? Detroit, did y'all know we had a camp that's in Gregory, Michigan? He talking about we need about, what it say, $2 million up to 40-something million to renovate a camp that we have in the district in Gregory, Michigan. Them babies need that money in Detroit, Michigan. We ain't worrying about no camp that ain't even been utilized, let Dr. Nikolai Vidi say, since the pandemic, or a little bit before they were starting to work on it. Detroit, I ain't gonna talk y'all ear off. We got a camp in Gregory, Michigan that they want to throw bread to, and our babies need that money to get back and forth to school. This man want to take out the fuel buses to put in the EPA buses. That was the initial grant. We got the grant. It's not to increase buses. His narrative is still, we can't find no bus drivers, and we can't find no drivers with the company that we utilize. Well, maybe you need to use another company, sir. We got the buses. We own the buses. I'm sorry, I misquoted. We own the white vans. If you see the traveling vans with students, like shuttle bus style, we own those. But of course, our bus system is privatized. The contracts that we see on this agenda today. 6 figures, easy. But we can't find a way to get our children to school to increase the revenue because each child is dollars. This man don't want this district to grow. And with ignorant presidents like Dr. Bishop Corletta Vaughn telling Detroit that we ain't had no new schools in 20 to 30 years. And she gave a similar spiel to the Paul Robeson, Malcolm X, when they threw the red, black, and green dirt on the ground with the shovels and the hard hats, telling people this is how you know we care about our kids because we building buildings. When emergency management was violating and raping our kids left and right, and they were building buildings, at least with swimming pools. Detroit, I love y'all. I love y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Please continue to advocate for our children in whatever space that you can and that you will and that your heart tells you to. But it don't take a lot of pressure. I'm going to remind y'all, when them Wyandotte parents, I invited them when they were going through their cell phone tower issue that we always must remember. Our babies in at least 20 schools are got cell phone towers on top of them, but that's a whole nother conversation. Look at my previous lives if you are interested in that. But I invited those parents, those Wyandotte parents, to come to our board meeting. This was give or take about a year or so ago. The frustration in their faces when they came out of that meeting, and they simply said this to me. They said, "He gets away with that?" And I said, "Yeah." And when I say he, I'm talking about Dr. Nikolai Viti, our superintendent. The Wyandotte parents, just a few would have shut him down. Detroit, we got the biggest district in the state of Michigan. It don't take that much pressure. We got 48,000 plus kids. We ain't leaning on them 80,000 plus parents. It's called a village, Detroit. We did have a public comment from a mom virtually complaining about the gift card and how her sons may have been compromised through his email. And she suggested maybe a gift card or a kind of EBT style card moving forward if the district continues to do it again. We had Mother Queen Helen Moore and Mama Redmond with also public comments representing CMA. And, you know, it don't take 7 years to give a school a feel, Detroit, especially when you move them with the illusion that you are going to make them whole. These board members that have been sitting watching all of this stuff happen, and they want their praise and their kudos and their honor when seen in public, and the illusion with smoke and mirrors. But in reality, Detroit, this is an emergency situation, and it only takes a few of us on a consistent level, whatever way you can, to put pressure. You know how if somebody gets shot, stabbed, it's bleeding, what they want you to do? Apply a pressure. So what? The bleeding will stop, and the wound can what? Heal, and the person can what? Live. So that's my whole point, Detroit. I love y'all. I'm a little passionate today because when I was on that call last night, I was like, is this lady serious? And then I made it to the Fisher building in person today because I ain't want no technical difficulties with such an important conversation about the smart transportation, to maybe increase transportation, to maybe allow our kids the opportunity to leave some of these charters and come to our schools. Because why? We offer transportation, which would equal revenue, which could what? Actually have us what? More sustainable, on top of doing the things that we know we could do, on top of the money we already have. Detroit, be blessed. But I swear, y'all, this is an emergency. This ain't got nothing to do with the federal government. We talking about a man being comfortable being the employee. And he got his employers that have just been saying, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Don't need to look at them contracts, sir. We good. 5-year, 10-year contract. 6-figure, 7-figure. Yes, sir. You gave us our plaques and our flowers. So we voted for the $700 million plan. But yet this man, Dr. Nikolai Viti, and I'm done for the night, baby. This man sits in a meeting today talking about a proposed, he really wants to try this pilot program for transportation. Why you wasn't trying it when we got the 1.27 million? But instead you put 700 million in buildings, when if you invest in your transportation, your revenue gonna increase. And I ain't even know, I graduated from CAS, but hey, I ain't know, you know what I'm saying? Come on. You know, if these people can sit up here and run this board as the presidente and don't know nothing, I told them in public comment, get this lady a cheat sheet. If y'all gonna have this lady speaking to the public, that's why she don't stay on the news. If you notice, Detroit, what board member is always on the news? Sherry Gay Daniello. She's ultimately the spokesperson for the district, because they know if they put Corletta Vaughn up there without a cheat sheet, oh, baby. Y'all have a blessed night.